Hi everyone, thank you very much. So I work for National Museums Liverpool. So we've got 8 museums and galleries on Merseyside. We're the largest museum group outside of London in England, in the UK, and the only one in England outside of London. So I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about the cultural impact on tourism. So cultural destination, obviously that is something that's talked about, and all of the reports from Visit Britain and the like, suggest that culture is definitely becoming more important for holidaymakers visiting the city, our city, London and other cities in the UK. Indeed, it's over 40% of people cite museums and galleries or culture as a key reason for their visit to the UK. And we've definitely seen that at National Museums Liverpool. So in 2017-18, we saw 3.3 million visits to our venues, which is really great. And 38% of those were staying visitors. So that does show that the trend there for cultural attractions being important to the visitor economy. As a cultural destination, Liverpool is definitely starting to cement itself on that map. Since Capital of Culture in 2008, we've definitely developed over the years, and I think really changed the perception of what Liverpool is about. And becoming a cultural destination, I think it's fair to say that we can definitely take that title now. So 10 years on from Capital of Culture, 2018, and we've got a fantastic programme of events across the city again this year. National Museums Liverpool is again involved in that, and we're really pleased this year to have the Terracotta Warriors with us. So China's First Emperor and the Terracotta Warriors exhibition opened at World Museum in February, and it's believed already to have brought in about 20 million to the local economy in its first 3 months of opening. Given that we're open for 9 months with that exhibition and expected to welcome 500,000 visitors during the run of the exhibition, that element of what it brings, what culture and what big exhibitions bring into cities like Liverpool into the local economy is fantastic, and that's a real boost to us because we annually bring in about 53 million to Liverpool, which is really, really great. But one of the things that has really struck us during doing Terracotta, and indeed what comes from many reports about cultural tourism, is that visitors are not just after going to the fabric, to the buildings, to the venues. Football and the Beatles obviously is very important to Liverpool's tourism industry. But people are increasingly after a feeling and something that gives them an experience to take away. And this is something we've actually seen through the Terracotta Warriors exhibition. So we've seen words such as spellbinding and breathtaking for people to describe their experience. And that's really, really important for us actually going forward. So it's not only a case of driving visits to the venues to see our permanent collections and our special exhibitions. I mean, we have a lot of other business elements as well to the organisation. So sponsorship, touring exhibitions, corporate events, all these kinds of things. They all add into what we deliver in the local economy. But it's that sense of feeling that people want to get when they visit a cultural destination. And that's definitely something that we consider important at National Museums Liverpool. So I'll just run through a couple of other kind of figures around the impact that cultural venues make on tourism. So we've just released some figures this week. So as I said, 3.3 million visits in 2017-18. Of those, 38% were on stay-in visits, 14% were from overseas. And if we looked into that, I was quite surprised actually, 12% gave from overseas visitors said that one of our venues was the main reason for visiting, which is great for overseas visits because it's no mean feat to decide where you're going to take your holiday, and Liverpool being up there is really great for us. And 38% of people were on stay-in trips. So bringing that spend into the city and increasing tourism and really sort of cementing our position as a cultural destination is definitely something that is on the up, I think. So I think that's kind of it. I'm trying to read from my notes because I've stepped in for someone else. So I'm sort of actively reading at the same time. But if there's any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them. Yeah.
Hiya,
Hi.
that's really interesting about the international visitors.
Yeah.
One question that came up on the future stage earlier was about
Mm.
local engagement and how do you kind of ensure that locals are also using the facilities of
Yeah.
culture. And Hull was talking about they had 90% culture, like local engagement, and I just wondered how that was for National Museums Liverpool.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Our figures for local visits is really high. Funny enough, I didn't look at that one because I thought no one's going to ask me about local figures. But some of the figures off the top of my head that I can think of, I think it's about 67% of people from the Liverpool City region. And talking about engagement with communities, we do an awful lot of community work. And Terracotta Warriors, as you'll see on our video on our stand, we had some golden tickets. So we had a few people from the community who were first ever to see that exhibition, which was really nice actually. But schools, the work that we do with local schools. So the Terracotta Warriors exhibition has a schools programme, and already we've seen almost 20,000 pupils come through that. Just in its first few months of being open. So that's really exciting. So the engagement with our local communities is strong. And of course well, I'm saying of course, I'm sure you know because you're from Liverpool, but we have an awful lot of free events. Literally every single weekend there's a free event at our venues. So encouraging people from lower budget incomes, is great for us, and culture should be open to everybody. And you know, one of our main mission is to be the world's leading example of an inclusive museum service. And working for National Museums, I actually feel really proud that we definitely do that. And locally, I see the statistics weekly, monthly, annually, and they're definitely showing a really great trend there for people enjoying culture on their doorstep and welcoming people into the venues to enjoy what might be a free craft activity, and you know, a little bit of time for mum and dad to have a little bit of a rest is great. But seeing the collections, the venues and what we've got in situ all the time is really exciting, and I think great for kids.
Yeah, just on that though, how do you actually attract them? How do you communicate with um, people in the city region to be able to like let them understand that that's
Yeah.
all on offer for them?
Yeah, well, we've recently changed our marketing probably over the last few years. So obviously, I mean, because we're a charitable organisation and publicly funded, budgets are never massive, but we definitely work to do our best. So social media marketing is actually a really great example for us, and especially for the free events, you know, setting them up as just a Facebook event, something really simple, really drives traffic for us. And we've definitely seen a change in the audience profile as well. So more people coming from the lower income groups as well as you know, the traditional other groups. But yeah, we do a wide marketing mix, so you know, outdoor, social media, digital advertising. We work a lot with local partners, so doing reciprocal marketing, so with the likes of Liverpool One, Merseyrail, different partners like that, just to try to work together. We do email marketing, and then of course we've got all the advocates that work for National Museums Liverpool, and it's fair to say that I think most people who work at the museum are very proud of what we do. So it's more often that we'll pass on to other people. And that's the same, you know, it comes back to that visitor experience. People have an enjoyable experience, they're more likely to pass it on. And as much as I love the marketing, because I manage that team, and I'd like to say it's all down to that, it really isn't. And a lot of the stats that we see continually are that people either always knew about the venues, have visited previously, or that it was word of mouth. So the community awareness level, I think, of what we do and the events that we run has definitely been increasing and is doing quite well for us. Of course, I'd like more visits and I'd like to put it all down to marketing, but I can't.